Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at Nanbaka episode 25, which I want to say, what the hell, Nanbaka? What the hell was this? What type of ending was this? What was I just seeing happen? I don't know what just fucking happened. I'll be honest with you guys and girls, and I'll explain it as best as I can because, what essentially just happened was the series ended, or the season ended, one of the two. There was no conclusion. There was no going, oh, see you next season or whatever. There was none of that. It just ended abruptly and without any warning, without anything. What the flying fuck, Nadbaka? I don't know. This episode was so awesome too because, we saw some cool shit. Probably the coolest action to come from, just the main characters. Obviously, Jugo kicked some ass. Even the guard that they finally saved, they finally got to rescue him, with Troy's help and stuff like that. They were able to rescue the one guard, the very flamboyant dude. But even he kicked ass, and he was doing some really cool stuff. We saw his weapon finally, which is like these two weird looking, like giant wheel type weapons. Um, I know they actually have a name. I forgot the name off the top of my head, which is really sad because I'm usually decent remembering names like that. But you know, we saw that they had to fight a whole bunch of those weird soldier things that we saw the weird puppets. We saw them. Jugo's able to finally cut through all the enemies and actually go and save Hajime, and it was pretty cool because for the most part, we see Jugo finally come to terms with what he wants in life. He wants to become a better person. He wants to feel not so empty. And this was a really good scene. This was actually a touching scene. It was some comedy added to it when he's like, it's kind of funny to see you in handcuffs and in jail. And Hajime was even gonna leave the other dude behind because he's like, yeah, but I don't really feel like saving him. But then Jugo was like, yeah, but if we leave, wouldn't that kind of look weird? And and even Hajime was like, yeah, if I leave him behind and then they'll only escape with 15, they'll wonder how did I escape with only 15 and why did I? He started saying this stuff really fast. I thought it was funny. And then we get more enemy fights. Jugo and Hajime fight together for a few moments, and we see split things of each character having to deal with a whole bunch of stuff. We see the ninja guy outside looking down at the guards, and then we see this ending right here. And then the credits, which is aka the opening song, roll, and this happens. What the flying fuck? Nanbaka, what is this? Seriously, you know, I can't. I don't know if I want to give this thing a series review or what. I'll be honest with you. Let's just say it's a series review. So far, the animation and the sound and all that stuff has been as much as the first part. So, because I did review the first arc, and I said what I thought for the show so far. All that stuff's been good. Animation, I loved it. The voice acting was really great. I love all the characters. The music's been very phenomenal. I hate the opening because I hate that the voice actors did the opening now, which is really weird. I think that was almost like a kind of weird budget constraint type thing. The ending song's hit or miss. It's not really a song in my opinion, but that's there. Story wise, I actually thought season two was a lot better than season one's story. I think that having the more serious tone to it was actually very helpful for it because it had some great fights because of it. The comedy was kind of thrown off kilter a little bit by that, but it still was good nonetheless. But as a whole, I don't know what to review this anymore as because if I take this at face value, if I had to review this whole thing between A through F, I have to give it a C minus now because of this. Because this ending was very abrupt and it just did not feel complete and felt really, I hate to say, kind of a slap to the face of the viewers watching because it just ended. So honestly, that kind of ruined my whole thing with the show. To be honest, I was gonna give the show at least a solid C plus, but this type of ending is to me not forgivable. I hate this shit. I don't know why we have no announcements of another thing. We have nothing. We know that an OVA type episode's coming out, but that's supposed to be like a joke episode, I think. So if you guys know in the comments, please tell me what the hell's going on. If I don't know something, fine. But even if anything, I have to say I'm gonna give the show a C minus at least because I really did have some issues with it in terms of that type of ending. I really don't like when shows do that. And more so, the opening being the way it was too, it shows that a lot of things in this season were kind of rushed in terms of what they had to do. I think because maybe they were running out of budget or whatever, but there were some issues here and there, and I didn't like the comedy as much as the first season, which was kind of weird. But like I said, the action was really good. Don't get me wrong, the action was phenomenal when it was on screen. But I always felt that you know stuff like this when a show does this, it pulls it like this move. It's I don't know if it's for shock value or if it's just because we don't know what the hell's going on for the next part. Like if they don't even know what's going on for the next part. Um, So yeah, I give this a C minus. Because like I said before, the comedy is definitely hit or miss of the show. It's one of those things that's very subjective. I enjoyed it. Like, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys and girls. This is I try to always do it with biased reviews, obviously. And some of you might be going, "Well, you like this show. Why not give it a higher score?" It's I'm not saying that I wouldn't watch the show or recommend it to people because it's got a lot to like about it, but I'm saying if you look at what the comedy does and what the show does in general, you have to look at it as unbiased as you can, and that's the hard thing with it. But that's what realistically is here. This show is going to be something that not everyone's going to really care for too much, and it's definitely going to be one of those shows that it's like, I like it because some of the stuff's cool, but it's definitely gonna be a hard watch if you don't count the first part as the first season. If you count it by itself as just a 12 episode arc type thing, like a part one and then part two. So it's really up to the person watching this. But C minus is still a respectable score. Don't get me wrong; it's still a passing score by a decent margin. It's not, it's very close to me being almost like a C or C plus. But I just want to give a C minus because I hate this ending. This ending really pissed me off. I'm serious. Anyways, guys and girls, tell me what your thoughts were in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys and girls. As always, if you like these reviews, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video. You know the whole nine. Until our paths cross again in the next review, have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.